communicative than they used to be. I mean, we were discouraged from really getting to know our teachers or even our parents. My grandmother, she would always reiterate the same sentence to me again and again. Little boys should speak only when they're spoken to. Hmm? This was if I happened to say something during lunch or dinner or anything else. Keep quiet. So you really weren't encouraged. She was, of course, very Victorian, but so we weren't encouraged really to speak our minds or express ourselves. And if you did, then as I did in secret, wrote a little story about while I was in school about friends and teachers and got into trouble.
So Samit said that, in some of his interactions, he was told, but reading, how is that going to help me? How is that going to get me to IIT? What's your take on that, Mr. Bond?
Yes, it's amazing. I guess it depends again on the school, really, because if so many schools really, I think, are preparing their students for careers even long before they finish school. So they're perhaps implanting in the students' heads the sort of careers they should undertake. And rather than allowing the boy or the girl to make up his or her mind for themselves. It always was like that. I came home from school after my last year in school, and my mother said, "Now, Ruskin, what are you going to do with yourself?" And I said, "Mom, I think I'm going to be a writer." She said, "Don't be silly. Go and join the army." There'd have been another Beetle Bailey in the army if I had. So he was much better off without me. So I think you must be allowed to make up your own minds and follow your own bent, your own heart's desires, and unless you're happy in your work, you won't be good at it.
Anything for you to close before I open it up to...
Yeah, this IIT question. Any great invention, any great breakthrough, any great product has to do with the imagination. And nothing builds the muscles of your imagination than reading a book. So I would have turned around to that guy and said, if you don't read, you will not have a eureka moment. You can forget about Edison or Einstein ever doing what they did if they didn't have a wild and sometimes imprisonable imagination.
That was point one of my 7-point rant.